And next we have a representative from DP World, Shahab Jassmi, who is going to give a keynote speaker on behalf of Abdullah Bin Damithan, the Chief Commercial Officer. Shahab is himself somebody with a great deal of experience. I believe he's been in managerial level experience in the shipping and related fields for about 20 years. At the moment, he's a senior Vice President at the Commercial Department of DP World UAE Region. Prior to joining that, he had spells with Dubai Trade and Dubai Aluminium, so he's somebody who's well qualified to give our third keynote speech.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It gives us a great pleasure to be with you here, and many thanks to Maritime Standard for inviting us. Before I start my speech, I wanted to, my speech actually will cover a bit about what is the industry is going through in terms of trade, and being the leading port terminal in this region, we come across a lot of statistics and informations, and all our business actually is based on information. It's very interesting to see how the forecasts and projections for the oil price and global economic growth was projected in last year and this year, and how things are really fluctuating and changing every time. If we talk about oil price projection last year, I was going through tremendous number of reports, and the most optimistic figures was for 2018 at the oil price at $70. But we are talking today about $85, and also it might go further and grow and increase the oil price. So what is happening really in the global trade is impacting all of us. And the philosophy that we followed in DP World is that you always need to be ready for any change. You have to be geared, you have to be prepared for any type of growth, drop, and this is how things are going on. So to start with, let's talk on what we have constantly been reading and hearing around us. The IMF reports was downgrading the global GDP from 3.9% to 3.7%. Even last year was more optimistic. And this is, of course, was happening due to increasing in trade tensions, liquidity issues in the emerging markets, which is, we're talking about Africa and some of the Far East countries. The liquidity and the financing is becoming a major issue in the trade sector. However, IMF has shown a positive number for our region, in this region. This is obviously linked to the increase of the oil price. Despite the UAE's non-oil sector showing a slow trend over the last few months, the UAE economy looks really very steady and strong, despite of the challenges that we've gone through in terms of last year oil price drop, Qatar crisis, Iran sanctions, all these fluctuations and challenges in the market, we see that things are really steady, which is a sign that our fundamentals and our economy is based on a very strong basis, and this should protect us from any turbulence in the world economic. Reportedly, the world has about 5 decades of oil left. So that's a sign that for our economy that we need to turn ourselves and start looking for other sectors. Global oil supply recorded 100 million barrels per day in August this year, and expected even to grow in 2019. So global oil demand is not too far behind the supply in 2018. 2018 has been a strong year for Chinese import, a result of comeback, of course, from the slower 2017. Interestingly, China has become one of the the biggest market for U.S. crude after the United States lifted a 40 years export ban in 2015. You see how the changes are happening between the East and West. Friends, we are in the region that generate 32% of global oil production, 22% share of LNG, and about 40% share of petrochemicals. That shows how important is this region for the global economy. The world is changing faster than ever before. This is impacting every area of business and industry. A few additional aspects impacting our business are the trade wars. And the question, of course, is who will win and who will lose? Will this trigger sourcing changes? Will OPEC sacrifice their market share in the search of margins, increasing their margins? And many other thoughts to come to mind. Of course, geopolitical situation and sanctions. This will affect the supply of oil into the market and definitely will trigger sourcing changes. And we started seeing that, especially from the main consumer of oil in East and West. Climate changes. In recent report, it says that global temperature has risen by 1 degree Celsius in every year. This is already being felt in forms of flood, droughts, forest fires, and heat waves. In line with this, we have the IMO regulation on low sulfur fuel. So are ships owners ready for this increase of the cost while freight is on downward trends? Can this cost be rapidly passed to the traders with the current pain that the traders are going through? Our ports are ready for all these changes. Are we ready? So from a trade enabler perspective, as DP World, I believe that the way forward is through collaboration and connectivity. This is literally beyond the gate. The port, along with the vessel operator, reaching out to the cargo owners to ensure an efficient supply chain. Integration among all the players in the supply chain is a must. So from our one-sided view, I'm of the opinion that the industry needs infrastructure be it marine facilities, land for storage and or floating storage, refineries and crackers, industrial clusters. We have several case studies where we work along with big consumer companies, logistic operators, and port ecosystem to bring enhanced value to the supply chain. Yes, we at DP World are ready. We are well geared. We have the infrastructure. Our state-of-art facility at Jabal Ali provides marine facilities, land for refineries and crackers. Our industrial cluster have leased out an area of 4.07 million square meter to approximately 500 petrochem companies specialized in warehousing of packed lubricant, fuel, and industrial chemicals. And we are really diverting some of our attention to help in increasing of this sector in terms of creating value-added services for these companies and customized solutions to help them grow and deliver their products to the wide regions through our wide range of network and connectivity we provide to all the globe. Our industrial clusters, we belong to the new generation where technology spearheads all that what we do. Our customer interface focuses on wider information exchange with our business partners, as I said, and dedicated customer relationship management. As a trade enabler, we focus on providing effective trade solutions across our portfolio in the region and globally. Our unparalleled multimodal connectivity with productive storage solution is driven by efficient safety and security standards. Our capabilities in handling liquid at our oil terminal has constantly been growing year over year. Our dedicated tank terminal is 2 million square meters with 10 oil berths and 1 chemical berth with clients handling various oil and chemical products. We have a broad footprint extending into free zone, offering to business of almost 500 petrochemical companies specialized, as I said, in warehousing, tank cleaning, chemical blending, packaging, labeling, and other services. And of course, once you have this variety of type of activities, you need to have a solid rules and regulations. You need to have a solid safety procedures and storage procedures to enable this business. We have been closely associated with petrochem majors and have provided customized solutions to facilitate the business model. I'd like to close my presentation with this phrase that collaboration for growth, this will help us to be the future. We need to connect, to share information, and we need to collaborate. Port provides a natural platform to do so. To collaborate for improving physical infrastructure, to enhance communication infrastructure, to provide collaborative services and digital infrastructure, this is the key to sustainable supply chain for this region. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you very much for this opportunity, and thanks to for this beautiful event. Thank you.
Thank you, Shahab. I think it's useful to get a perspective about the importance of logistics hubs and the entire supply chain within the petrochemicals business. It's not just all about the ocean leg. There's definitely much a supply side infrastructure. Sorry, a supply chain infrastructure on the land side as well that has to be taken into account.